thermal styling techniques such as blow drying or iron curling. Thermal styling is the technique of drying and styling hair by using a handheld dryer while simultaneously using your fingers and/or a variety of brushes. It also includes techniques that utilize pressing combs and/or thermal curling irons. Remember chemistry? In that chapter, we saw that hair is composed predominantly of proteins connected by both physical and chemical bonds. Many of these physical bonds are hydrogen bonds that are easily broken down by both water and heat. As these hydrogen bonds break down, the protein chains are able to shift to accept a new position, but only temporarily, and only after the new configuration cools. That's why it's necessary to allow the hair to cool completely prior to brushing or combing. Since heat and water can both change the hair's curl pattern, thermal styling services are considered to be only temporary. It is important to protect hair from excessive heat. If working with a stove-heated thermal iron, you'll need to check the temperature by testing the iron on a piece of white paper towel. Air forming or blow drying refers to the process of drying the hair and at the same time styling it to create a new form. Blow dryers are available in different sizes and shapes and wattages, generally from 1000 watts to 1800 watts. By using blow dryer attachments, such as concentrators and diffusers, airflow can be pinpointed or allowed to flow over larger areas. To hold the dryer, loop the electric cord over the wrist. This allows the cord to travel in the same direction as the blow dryer and prevents the cord from hitting the client or trailing on the floor. Finger styling is a technique in which the fingers are used to style and manipulate the hair. The hair is lifted or held flat while drying to create the desired finish. Scrunching is a form of finger styling. In this technique, the hair is squeezed to introduce a texture pattern that the hair responds to naturally. Air forming can also be done with a blow dryer in one hand and a brush in the other. Small brushes are used for curlier styles and short hair. Larger brushes are used for smoother results or for longer hair. A hot brush or comb can also be used to curl hair. This is similar to the blow dryer because both styling tools have small motors that force air over a heating element and a slotted barrel that holds the brush or comb attachment. Hair pressing or silking is used to temporarily straighten overly curly hair. Thermal curling adds temporary curl texture by using thermal or curling irons. They're also called Marcel curling irons. That's because they were first introduced by Marcel Gratteau in 1875. Electric curling irons have a heating element controlled by a thermostat that maintains a constant temperature during use. There are various ways to hold the iron. Some stylists prefer to use only the little finger to open the iron and the other fingers to close the iron. Other stylists find it easier to use the little finger and ring finger to open the iron. Since a thermal iron can be difficult to use, practice first with a cold iron until you become comfortable with these manipulations. Now let's take a look at how different curling iron techniques and various texture patterns can be achieved by varying the position of the curling iron along the hair strand. With a base to ends technique, the curling iron is first positioned slightly away from the base. The curling iron is then turned toward, then away from the scalp, making one complete revolution. This technique is repeated until the entire hair strand is fed through. A heat-resistant comb is positioned between the curling iron and the scalp to protect the client's scalp from accidental burning. For volume-based control, as in this example, the barrel of the iron is positioned underneath the hair. For an indentation-based control, position the barrel of the curling iron on top of the hair strand. With the ends to base technique, the curling iron is positioned at the ends of the hair and then rotated toward the base. With the ends technique, the curling iron is positioned to add curl texture at the ends only. In this example, the barrel of the iron is positioned on top of the hair to create a flipped effect. The curling iron can be used to create Marcel waves or alternating oblongs along the hair strand. The hair strand is placed into the curling iron with the barrel positioned on top of the hair strand. A comb is used to help direct the hair in alternating directions to form the wave. For the spiral technique, the curling iron may be positioned vertically or diagonally at the base. The curling iron is then turned while gradually feeding the hair strand into the curling iron until the entire strand is fed through and the ends are within the iron. The curling iron is then opened to release the hair. Straightening or flat irons consist of two flat heated plates. The hair is placed between the two plates near the base and then brought down to the ends in one smooth flowing movement. The technique of straightening or silking the hair may be repeated until the desired degree of straightness is achieved. Unlike the straightening irons, which consist of two flat irons, the crimping irons consist of two irons that have an angular or serrated pattern. The hair is positioned between the two crimped plates, which are then closed upon the hair. The resulting texture is angular, which is often referred to as crimped. The undulating iron consists of two undulating or curved irons that create an S pattern. The hair is positioned between the two irons, which are then closed upon the hair. When performed along the entire strand, the iron is positioned next to the last wave pattern to create a continuous undulating pattern. Whichever hairstyling techniques you perform, you will need to know when and how to use natural and side parts. A natural part assumes the direction of the hair's natural growth pattern. To find the natural part, comb the hair back away from the hairline. Then push your hand forward so that the strands lift naturally at their base. Separate the hair from the natural part. Then comb and evenly distribute the hair from the part in the direction of the design. A design part is one other than the natural part, which is used to create a certain effect. To create a design part, comb the hair back from the hairline. Place your index finger at the predetermined ending point of the design part. Then, direct the comb in a straight line from the front hairline toward your index finger. Comb the hair away from the parting. Then, continue combing as you evenly distribute the hair around the crown. Once you learn how to perform various thermal hairstyling techniques using volume, indentation, movement, and texture, you will be able to create an array of designs as well as successfully finish other services, such as hair cutting and hair coloring.